welcome to my WOW Chats, Words of Wisdom with people that I love and admire and respect. And this is the fabulous Matthew Taylor. Thank you, Matthew, for being on my show.
It's a pleasure, Shelly. Thanks for inviting me.
So Matthew, I first met you, I think it was 2007, so it's about 10 years now. Gosh, where did we start with you? Oh, there's so much. Matthew Taylor, he's a physical therapist, a friend of mine. You're a yoga therapist. You're one of, tell me about you.
Well, I'm Mr. Jennifer Taylor.
That's
probably the most important role I play.
Mr. Jennifer Taylor.
And just love making change and helping people find their way and connecting dots. I love connecting dots.
I find a lot of those aspects of you in myself. I like to connect as well and be a connector. And one thing that I really admire and respect about you is how you help other healthcare professionals, or especially physical therapists, find their way in integrating yoga into physio, and that's what I love doing too. Sure. And so I see how you have done that over the years, and that really inspires me. And you've been a mentor. So you're a friend of mine, but I consider you a mentor too. Matthew's someone that I have actually picked up the phone and called and Skyped with when I've had issues and problems, and he's helped me over the years, so he's super wise.
Was it Austin that we worked with your Achilles?
Yes.
Too? That was fun.
He helped me with my Achilles.
Imaging practice.
That was really fun. Yeah, and I actually still use that technique on myself and with patients too.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's great.
I told you it was tough, Michael.
So Michael Lee is filming, and he's holding the camera, and he's getting tired already. This is great. So words of wisdom. Okay, so since we're talking about connecting, being the connector, and so I see. Let's talk about Dharma for a moment, and kind of like self-care. So I see my Dharma or my life purpose as promoting connectedness, or promoting interconnectedness with truth, wisdom, love, and joy. That's kind of one of my statements that I use. So then it doesn't matter what I'm doing, so it's not related to my career or anything, it's just in general. I want to always promote connectedness. And so for me, what's most important in life and in anything, regardless of the story or situations, is the relationships. That's just so important. And sometimes I find, so there's a question here. Sometimes I find that living that and making that a priority, I lose myself. And then you think about self-care and how can you make sure that you are living your own authority and your integrity. And we talked about that this morning with the three wise men on your podcast, and I'll put that link below as well. But I guess do you have any thoughts or insight on, how can you stay true to, or for myself, it's really important for me to build relationships and keep relationships, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to cultivate and nourish relationships, but if one is challenging or difficult, and it may be really, you might be suffering because of the relationship, and so then it seems like you would think, okay, well then take care of yourself, and then you try to do that, and then maybe that's time to break off the relationship. So that all makes sense, but then this Dharma that I have, I feel like it's something larger than me. No, that relationship is more important than this physical me. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Am I clear in what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah. And it's that kind of paradox of we are all connected, we are all part of this bigger thing. Yes. And also that's where the idea of each moment is asked us to stay awake or wake back up, right? And so when we're in that conflict of, well, is this caring for myself, or is it actually tearing myself down from your health kind of standpoint? I think doing a practice of just saying, I'm not responsible for fixing all of this. I'm part of all this, but I'm not responsible. I have a small part to fix, and I think that's as healthcare givers. That's my early charge was. I'm going to change the whole world, and I can save the whole world. And somehow have a thought that I knew what to do to save the world it gets more ridiculous each day. You know? So being able to say when there's something that's not nurturing or sustaining me, that it's okay to set that aside. I have a small part. I set it aside as kindly and as gently as I can. But as a healthcare giver, or provider, or service provider, that's also my well-ingrained habit that isn't necessarily healthy to help everybody, to take care of all the wet kittens. Take care of a wet kitten, which is usually this one, and then see what's left after that. And it really flips that whole idea of selfish. And what it does, we know the science now, science of compassion and burnout and everything, is when we do that, we actually sustain ourselves and we're more resilient. We're able to give more. So it's kind of that, it's like, oh no, I'm not doing enough, but if I do too much, then there's nothing of me to give. And so, but that's still the process, and I'm still working it. You're still working it, and we are. And I think that last year in my plenary, I talked about humility. It's humility and emergence. Those are the two things I think as humans we have to be careful of, and realize we just have such a limited perspective on everything. And so community like this, where we stay in relationship, stay in communication, is so important to help us see what we can't see. So don't do it by ourselves. So get those wow moments and keep those wow moments coming and share them with people, because we all need the wow.
Yeah, that's so key, because I've been learning so much of this sort of this philosophy and this wisdom, and then I think, well, I know this, and this is what I teach too, and I share with all of you. If you're patient,
you are wisdom.
We are wisdom.
And the feminine is Sophia, the embodied feminine wisdom. So you don't get it. You don't have to acquire it. You are it. I think that's the thing we struggle with too. So.
Wow.
Oh, is that a wow? Yay, we did it.
Wow.
Michael's gonna need surgery on his shoulders.
Wow. Michael Lee could not hold up the camera, so we had an abrupt stop of filming. Hopefully he does not have to have surgery. Thank you for watching this episode of my Wow Chats. For more words of wisdom from people that I admire and respect, please check out my other episodes.